we're talking about the still point, you know, finding the silence underneath all the noise. And you can be aware of this still point, this silence and the subtle energy, no matter what you're doing. You can be right in the middle of a meeting with your consultant friends and you get the egos going and you have this and that and whatever. Maybe a lot of noise in the room, but you can pull back a little bit from that noise. You can feel that still point in yourself and you can see the still point in the situation. Suddenly the situation changes because your attitude of looking is different. You know, it's like going into a museum and looking at paintings, for example. If you have your mind very much activated and you want to judge and think about everything you're seeing, well, then you miss the subtle beauty and maybe the silence and the creativity behind what you're looking at. It's the same in nature, you know, if we're out and we're looking at a beautiful sunset, do you want to analyze it? Do you want to think about it? Do you want to criticize it? Do you want to judge it? You have to open to it. Allow it to bring you into that silence. And different things work for different people. I think for all of you, this practice works. But it works only as far as you want it to take you. Right? So you have to really decide that this is what I want to do when I get into some crazy thing, either in the mind or externally. Don't forget to pull back and take a breath, feel into the heart, feel that still point. And by going through the still point, it's like a gateway, then you get into feeling the silence and the rising energy that is the source of the whole universe. And that's where the oneness is. You can recognize and live from that sense of oneness, even if nobody else around you is. Of course, it makes it more difficult, more challenging, and it's very nice to be able to share with other people who are also focused on experiencing that. And this is the purpose of having a group practice where we sit together and meditate, and you have somebody sitting up front and kind of setting the tone. There's really nothing to teach, you know. There's only a sharing of that deeper energy and silence. That's what the essence of it is. And whatever we are saying is not stuff that you should try to memorize. We are just trying to say things that point to the need for you to do that. Point to the fact that it is there, and trying to inspire you to work more deeply at seeing into that, in touch with it. So the practice is for that purpose. When you see the puja that they're going to do today, pujas are ceremonies that actually is aimed at contacting that silence and that subtle energy. It's just done in an external form. The practice that we do is an inner puja. You are offering your little self on the altar of your big self. Does that make sense? You're saying, oh, this little worry that I have, or this little this or this little that, little in comparison with the bigger self that you are, I can let it go. I can let it go. I can feel into that deeper part of me, which really nourishes me. And if you need me, us, as a reminder in that process, good. Look at the picture and say, oh yeah, I remember what we were doing there. Maybe I go more deeply into that. You can really use the connection, because anybody who's a teacher is really also just a gateway into that silence. So you have the chakras, you can go in there and you feel it, it opens. And to the degree that you feel connected with us, you can also use that connection to feel that it's a gateway into your deeper self. That's what a teacher is. You don't owe a teacher anything. If you do the work, it's impossible to hold back the results from you, even if we should want to. And why should we want to? I mean, what we would love to see happen is everybody getting as deeply connected in that as possible. As we said the other day, you know, there's a certain inner clock that has to run its course. You don't necessarily, the first time you take a breath in here, feel a huge opening. Maybe it takes a certain amount of time. But you have to be patient, you have to persevere, you keep doing it, and then you see that, yeah, I really can go into the subtler aspects of myself. There is something there. There's actually a void there, but that void is not dead. It is full of potential. And that potential lies in that subtle vibration that can manifest as anything. So if you are open, if your mind is open, if your heart is open, new ideas come from the depth of your being. You've all experienced some of that already, haven't you? Yeah. If you're worried and thinking about it and fighting it, no creativity comes. But once you relax and go inside, okay, I let go. Then something comes up that says, well, gee, maybe I could do this.